G'day guys, my name is Joe Christie and I am the Executive Director at Capital Property Funds. And I'm here today with my fellow Director Andrew Kerr to discuss the CPF Diversified Property Fund.
Hi Joe.
Yeah. G'day Andrew, how are you going? Look, before we delve too much into the machinations of the Diversified Property Fund, I thought it'd be worthwhile to discuss the fund's financial performance over the past couple of years.
Absolutely, Joe. A common theme of the CPF Diversified Fund over the past 6 years or so has been its consistent income combined with modest capital growth. For the past year ending 30 September 2022, the fund has provided investors with a total return of 9.85%. For the past 3 years, the fund has provided investors with a total return of 15.01% per annum, and for the past 5 years, the fund has provided a total return of 13.24%. Since inception in 2016, the fund has provided a total annualised return to investors of 8.45% per annum. This is a very strong result.
I think it's a very good result. Look, all of the history of the fund, the performance history, can be viewed at the Capital Property Fund's website, capitalpropertyfunds.com.au. Look, can we talk a little bit about the investment strategy of the fund? Like, how have we been able to achieve those returns for the past 5 to 6 years?
Yeah, thanks, Joe. The strategy of the fund is to provide investors with a high quality income stream combined with longer term capital growth. The fund is structured to provide CPF with the ability to allocate resources across the property spectrum in order to provide the best risk-adjusted returns. For example, in the past 6 months or so, CPF has been complementing the core office asset of the fund by investing in CPF's high-yielding debt investments, which are currently yielding between 8.5% and 9% per annum. It's also important to point out that CPF does not charge the fund any management fees for investing in our own debt products. So this means that there's no leakage from those mortgage 8.5 to 9% investments.
Can you tell us about the core office asset of the fund?
Sure. The fund owns an A-grade commercial office asset at 601 Coronation Drive, Toowong, which is in Queensland. It's currently valued at 51.25 million. We acquired the asset, you'll recall, Joe, in 2016 at 45.25 million. It's provided significant yield along the way through of 8% per annum, but it's also provided an increase in capital value, primarily due to increased rental growth. And at the time, it provided the fund with some potential upside due to a 16% vacancy.
And what was the strategy that we deployed to solve for that leasing risk?
Look, the strategy is all about getting tenants to come to the building. So on some of these suites that were vacant, what we did was subdivided those suites and installed high quality spec suites. So that created a product where tenants would want to come and occupy without having a delay. We also looked at tenant amenity. You'll recall, Joe, there wasn't an end of trip facility in the building. So we spent quite a bit of capital to put in an end of trip facility. We've done refurbishments of the exterior of the property and it really improved the overall appearance of the property. So it's changed tenants' perception and they've wanted to come in, and to the point now where it's 100% occupied.
The market's changed a little bit in the last sort of 6 to 12 months and something's come across your desk in Adelaide. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
That's right, Joe. I mean, currently, I guess you could say there's more sellers than buyers at the moment. So we've found the market has changed. Since interest rates have started to rise, we've seen value come in because the vendors have become more receptive to a reasonable pricing. So where we're at now with an asset which is 63 Perry Street in Adelaide, we've exchanged contracts on that asset for 58.6 million. We're aiming to settle that property in February next year. It's a similar asset to 601 Coronation Drive. It's on an island site. It has natural light around all four sides of the building. It's a very well located asset in the heart of the Adelaide CBD, within 100 metres of Rundle Mall and close proximity to public transport. So it is an asset that we particularly like. It's got some value add to it. It's got a level of vacancy which again, we'll adopt the same strategy that we've deployed at 601 Coronation Drive. It's doing subdivisions, it's doing high quality spec suites that tenants will want to come to that building and lease something. So we're confident that the current vacancy will work through that over the next 12 to 18 months.
I understand that you've acquired this asset. It'll be yielding, providing an 8% equity yield to the fund. There's some vacancy there which we see as potential upside for investors. I understand there's a 2-year rental guarantee being paid by the vendor in favour of the fund.
There is. I mean, any vacancy between, at settlement in February next year, there'll be 2 years full face rent guarantee provided by the vendor. So this means that the income for the property will essentially be 100% occupied from an income perspective for 2 years. So that'll give us ample time to roll out this leasing strategy and CapEx strategy, and we're very confident that we'll be able to deliver the same sort of outcome that we've delivered for 601 Coronation Drive.
What's the product mix that you're going to bring to the market in Adelaide?
What we'll do probably with one floor is split up into 2 or 3 tenancies and install high quality spec suites. The other floor, depending on leasing inquiry, we might hold that one back for a single floor tenant. So we want to create a range of products and not just have the same product, because we want to try and create a product that will appeal to a broad market.
Okay. And just to close off on Adelaide, so buying it for circa sort of $58 million, we're looking to raise how much for that asset?
We're looking to raise about $30 million, Joe.
Okay. So investors that are wanting to come into that fund, they can go to our website or call our office. Minimum investment is $25,000 and they can download the PDS.